Well, Mason Mount has gone ahead to complete and pass a United medical that has gone ahead to be conducted at Carrington today. We brought you the photos when he was arriving at Manchester United, and the rest of the business has been carried on at Man United as usual, and he is going to be unveiled as a Man United player, I think, tomorrow. Welcome to United Matters channel. How are you guys, and where are you watching us from? I go by the names of Rock and David. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. We are talking Marcus Rashford closing in on really renewing or extending his contract or his start Man United. Fabrizio Romano confirming to us about that deal. And then there is Harry Maguire. He's another one that is going to hate to come in through and obviously put in what we call a very huge ask to Erik ten Hag. And Ten Hag has provided him audience to have a meeting or a chat with him as soon as he returns from his holidays to start training with Man United. So let's see close to 300 likes, smash on this video, and then let's get into the mix. Fabrizio Romano has gone ahead and revealed to us that Mason Mount has completed medical tests as my new Man United player at Carrington, contract until 2028 plus option of further 1 year. So he has gone ahead to complete the medical at Man United, and we all understand that some players have gone ahead to come back at Man United. They have returned, and the manager Erik ten Hag is really so much happy to welcome them back. And one of the new entrants is Mason Mount, and I've seen some people arguing here on social media about whether Mason Mount is going to be the marquee signing of Man United, and however much you wouldn't fancy him to be, but who do you think is going to come and break him? Because it would have been Harry Kane, but Harry Kane is out of reach to Man United as they cannot go 100 million pounds north to really sign the player. That's it. So trust me, I don't see us bringing another player better than Mason Mount in price, but in quality we can get the player in, but not at the same level as Mason Mount. That is it. So he might turn out to be the marquee signing of Man United, and you might like it or hate it, but that's how it's written all over the world. He might be the marquee signing of Manchester United. That's why they've gone ahead for him first, because a player that twists the plan of the manager from getting in a number 9 that he had always talked about every time he was in the press conference in the previous season. He's not a player to joke with, meaning that he might be the number 1 target of Erik ten Hag. And obviously the number 1 target of Erik ten Hag turns out to be the marquee signing. And it can only be broken if at all United goes in for like Victor Osimhen, they go in for Harry Kane, and so on and so forth. But if they don't go in for those two, then I anticipate that Mason Mount will turn out to be the marquee signing of Manchester United. But good news, he has gone ahead to pass the medical at Man United, and here he is as a player of Man United. Rumored that he's going to be given shirt number 19 at Manchester United, so we wait and see how that pans out at the club of Manchester United. Now, Melissa Reddy, she really works for Sky Sports, has gone ahead and really put out a tweet about what really went ahead to attract Mason Mount to come to Man United. She said, Ten Hag introduced 83 principles when he arrived at Man United. Men explained what to do without the ball. Mason Mount ticks all the core traits he seeks while being comfortable as a creator. Midfielder vowed by Erik ten Hag's level of detail on this game plus appreciation of it. So it's a double-edged sword. It pinches into Erik ten Hag and to Mason Mount, and it brings in praises to them. So as it stands, Melissa Reid is telling us that the proof is in the pudding. That's the reason as to why Mason Mount has gone ahead to come to Man United, because he really likes the level of detail that Erik ten Hag pays to the game, and he appreciates Erik ten Hag on what he does as a manager that has gone ahead to see himself come to the Premier League and obviously impress him. And this is also based on the fact that Erik ten Hag is an admirer of Mason Mount for a very, very long time. And while he was at Vitesse, he wanted him. That was between 2015 to 2017. And from 2018 at Ajax, he also wanted him on loan, but Chelsea opted to loan him to where Frank Lampard was managing. That was Derby County, and he went ahead to thrive there. So Ten Hag has always waited for an opportunity to work with Mason Mount because he sees him as one of those players that are going to come up and elevate his team. So wait and see how that pans out for Erik Ten Hag, but it's a very good signing for the manager. And at least United having not delivered the marquee signing, that is Harry Kane, that Ten Hag wanted, Kim Min-jae, at least out of those three, they've gone ahead to offer one. But we, as the fans of United, who know that our team is very much attractive, we will keep questioning the heart and the manner in which we missed out on Kim Min-jae, who wanted to come to Man United, Harry Kane, who wanted to come to Man United, because we want a manager to get backed 100%. Like you see Jurgen Klopp is. Look at how Mikel Arteta is being backed by Arsenal. Declan Rice, £105 million. Julian Timber, Kai Havertz, 3 players, £210 million. What a backing that every manager deserves. And even last summer, you saw that if we never lost the first 2 games of our season, Ten Hag wouldn't have gone ahead to get the backing he wanted. You know, we went to the preseason with 1 player signed. You know, I don't want to see the same things repeating at Man United. Why should we go to the preseason when only having 1 player signed, yet the manager is calling in for like 6 signings, right? The open heart surgery needs to really continue at Man United and take us to the levels where we deserve to be as a club. So that's why we always continuously say the Glazers have to be out. The Glazers have to be out, and I've had a story coming from your friend that maybe tomorrow we might get a very huge announcement concerning the takeover of Man United, but we anticipate that it comes true, that it comes out as a way that favors the Qataris, as Sheikh Jassim Al Thani looks like he's taking over the club and taking over everything that United is really putting up to see to it that he becomes the new owner of Manchester United. That's it coming in from Mason Mount. Completes and passes the United medical, and congratulations to Mason Mount for turning out to be the first summer signing of Manchester United. Now, one of the players that Mason Mount is going to meet at Man United is obviously Luke Shaw, and the other one is Marcus Rashford and Harry Maguire. Now, sorry about that. For Marcus Rashford, is really close to signing a new contract with Manchester United. Fabrizio Romano has gone ahead to reveal to us concerning his new deal at Man United. You'll understand that he is left with 1 year left on his contract. That is Marcus Rashford. And as it stands, United have gone ahead to offer him a deal where he'll be earning close to £400,000 a week, making him the highest paid player of Manchester United, getting into the foot of David De Gea. That is it. So, as it stands, for Marcus Rashford, I think putting out that 1 season and giving him that amount of money, it's like United not learning from their previous mistakes they've gone ahead to do. They did the same thing with Anton Martial after he had a very beautiful season of 2019-2020 and scored 23 goals, right? And the next seasons, he has not gone ahead to show up. That is it. So, we pray to it that for Marcus Rashford, it works out well like a charm, and it fits the plans of Man United like a glove, because if he pans out to really not fire up all cylinders again, then questions will be raised on how he's earning that amount of money at Man United. Is it because he's an English player? That is it. So, I love Marcus Rashford. I've always loved him from the day Louis van Gaal gave him his debut against Midtjylland and he scored a brace for Man United. But I'll always coming through and calling for contracts that are really performance-based. If at all you want to offer contracts to Mason Mount, David De Gea, and other players that are really performance-based, why don't you offer the same contract to Marcus Rashford? Tell him you're giving you 300 grand per week. But if at all you go ahead and really perform this like this, you earn such and such amount of money. I think that better benefits the club and the player, because it helps to elevate the levels of the player at which he plays at, and the team will always benefit if at all that player puts his levels to where they're deserved and match the level of amount of money that you go ahead and really pay him every week. But this tendency of dishing out money like that, because how many teams do have players like we have earning £300,000 a week plus, like United? Varane, Sancho, Casemiro, Marcus Rashford, 4 players earning £300,000 a week. You know, that is really so ugly with the club of Man United, and you can't really be doing that. You can't be paying like that. Look at Man City. They only have Kevin De Bruyne and Erling Haaland into that ilk. The rest of the players are earning £200,000 a week, £180,000 a week, £150,000 a week. And shockingly, if at all you really search the salary of Bernardo Silva, you are going to get shocked. Bernardo Silva doesn't even earn, I think, Bernardo Silva wage you see, Bernardo Silva earns £150,000 a week. You see, so this is what these clubs really do. And however much you are at the level of Bernardo Silva, you need to be doing things exceptionally to be given £200,000 a week. But at United, you get in Jadon Sancho, he's earning 300 grand per week plus. Look at Anthony, £200,000 a week. What has he done? Scott McTominay, £140,000 a week. You know, £10,000 away from hitting or from matching what Bernardo earns at Man City. But is Scott McTominay anywhere in the levels of contributing to what Bernardo Silva contributes to Man City, to Man United? The answer is no. So we need to elevate our level. Look at Mason Mount coming in through. They are paying him £200,000 a week. But is he near the levels of Bernardo Silva and what he offers to the team of City? So we need to go out and really replicate what exactly that side does, and obviously put it into action at Man United. And we don't need to misuse our funds. Look at how Harry Maguire earns that amount. How does Harry Maguire earn £200,000 a week? The same amount of money that Ruben Diaz earns at Man City. You know, they are totally different kind of players, and they offer different efforts to their clubs respectively. So we need to really watch out when dishing out such deals, you know. So we need to watch out and obviously do it. But I think they've gone ahead to really study a little bit like they did to Alejandro Garnacho, because Garnacho was given a new contract of close to £30,000 a week, and if at all he performs very well, he might find himself in the ilk of earning a lot of money if at all he keeps performing very, very well. Let's talk about Harry Maguire, a player just mentioned that earns £200,000 a week, and his efforts are not equivalent to the amount of money he earns weekly at Man United. Fabrizio Romano telling us that Harry Maguire is going to leave, is going to have a chat with Erik ten Hag. There is a chance he will leave the club. Now, I was watching Rio Ferdinand's YouTube channel today, and he sent a message to Harry Maguire, and he told him that it doesn't make sense for you to captain the team on the sidelines. It's better you left the club of Man United, and if at all you want to have a word with me, come on and let's have a chat. That's what Rio Ferdinand said to Harry Maguire. So, and he was really on point, because these are words that any person who loves you will always tell you, and I don't know why Harry Maguire aren't really understanding this. If he keeps at Man United, he's not going to be playing in the team in the Euro finals. That's it, because there are very many other right-sided centre-backs that have gone ahead to develop at the English national team. And obviously, you never know what's going to happen for the likes of Colwell, who is really a left-sided centre-back, and he plays well with his left foot. So, Harry Maguire is going to have a chat with Erik ten Hag, and I think ten Hag is going to tell him that, please, if you want to leave, it's open, you can leave, but you cannot compete ahead of Varane, Lisandro Martinez, Lindelof, and Luke Shaw. That's the fact. And I anticipate some ruthlessness coming in from Erik ten Hag to be open to Harry Maguire, and he will tell him that you are open to leave the club of Man United because I don't see your efforts helping this club anymore. And if I told I'm Harry Maguire, I would live in peace. I would live in peace and tell my agent, we've been earning £200,000 a week. That is close to £11 million per year at the club of Man United since 2019, and it's 4 years now. I think it's high time we left the club and jetted to a next journey. You know, he should press next. I don't see him competing at any level, unless otherwise for him is okay to really start Man United, not playing the games of football, and bragging that he's the captain of Man United, who doesn't even start games, and obviously sometimes we're going to start missing out on the bench, provided Ten Hag brings in another right-sided centre-back, because if he brings in Disasi, Harry Maguire will fall into the 6th pecking order position. So guys, your thoughts on to Mount completing and passing medical are welcome in the comment section below. What do you make about Rashford's new contract closing in? And obviously, what do you make about Harry Maguire meeting with Erik ten Hag? And what words do you think Erik ten Hag is going to tell to Harry Maguire when they meet? I cover it all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. Those going to bed, good night. Those still awake, we are still pumping you with more stories. I'm out.